Hey everyone, welcome to my channel Hidden in Scrubs. In today's video, I'm going to explain the 2026 NMC notice for foreign medical graduates. I know a lot of students are stressed about online study during COVID and how it affects FMGE eligibility. So I'll break it down in simple language and highlight what really matters. This notice is for students who took admission on or before the 18th of November 2021. Students who have already completed their internship abroad and have finished all MBBS equivalent subjects are eligible to appear for the FMGE examination in India. The next question is whether online study can be compensated during the next year of offline study. The notice clearly states this is not acceptable. If a student has not met the required criteria, they must complete the course and clinical clerkship in India. The notice also clearly states that any portion of medical education completed online must be compensated through in-person clinical and academic training. In other words, every part of online study must be physically compensated. Furthermore, the notice warns that if a foreign medical university issues a compensation certificate but does not actually extend the course or ensure that the student received additional in person training, that certificate is considered invalid. Simply issuing a paper certificate without real physical training is against the law and will not be accepted by NMC. The notice emphasizes again that if a student only completed the course online and then continued with offline studies without actually compensating for the missed online portion, it will not be considered equivalent. Students must complete in person training for all online classes, including theory and practical work. The third point, which is confusing for many students, is whether the compensation letter must include details of the online study completed offline. The notice says yes, the letter must clearly mention both theoretical and practical components and specify theory subjects, clinical subjects, and any mandatory clerkship completed during the offline compensation. Let me tell you, what is clinical clerkship? It is basically the part of medical training where you work in a hospital or clinic, seeing real patients under supervision. You won't be paid for this. This thing was also mentioned previously in 2023 guidelines. The next question is whether 2 years of online study can be completed offline in just 1 year. The answer is no. Academic years cannot be compressed. It seems to suggest that 1 year online must be fully repeated in person. This point is controversial, but that's exactly what the notice says. At last, the notice states that both theory and practical components completed at the Foreign Medical Institute must be verified using visa stamps and passport entry exit records. This means you cannot submit a fake compensation certificate and you must ensure that all the details you submit are accurate to avoid problems later. At the end, the notice states that if all the above conditions are not met, you will not be granted registration for your internship. This whole thing is not in favor of foreign students, as it's retroactive notice. If you have any further doubts, you can comment below.